Hi, this is Keith Furrow, the trusted name in real estate along the Gulf Coast. Today we wanted to answer a question. I don't know that we'll completely answer it, but one of the questions that people have is, will the market crash in 2020? A year or two ago, they were saying that 2018 it was going to be over, 2019 was going to be over, and now 2020 is going to be over, and they keep moving the goalpost. Now, there's a lot of factors when it comes to determining your specific market. Now, one of the things I'll suggest is that real estate is hyper local, which means 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, a mile can make all the difference in the world for many, many reasons, based on the type of stores, whether it's closer to the water, closer to the college, whatever the different reasons are, closer to a bus line, closer to the airport, or not close enough to the airport, these kind of things. So real estate is going to be hyper local. So if you're looking for real detailed information, you're going to want to search out somebody locally in your market, and feel free to reach out to us. We've got friends and relationships in many countries and on every state in most cities. So we'd be able to hand pick somebody great to help you. Now, the questions come up is like, how would anybody know? No one will 100% know, because we always know 2 or 3 months behind. And for example, I closed on my current home on the official day that the market lowered at the lowest possible number back in 15 14 years ago. And people say, well, how did you not know? Well, we were at a peak, everything was going, that was what was available. We didn't know for 6 months or a year later, and it was at the peak of the price. Now, since then, we went down. A lot of us remember the trough, and we've come back up for the most part in most every market. But that's an interesting thing. I've been doing this for it's my 38th year, and back then it would have been my 24th year. But yet, there's no way you could know all that. So those are some things. Even the ones that do this every day can't be 100% sure. Now, what are the factors? Now, if the market's going to go up or not go up, we just said it's hyperlocal, and it's obviously regional and geographical based on the state you're in and the markets and the types of time of year, and those kind of things matter. But the national politics matter, the state politics matter, but the local politics matter a lot more than the other two. All of it matters, but the local politics are different. If they pass a rule, an ordinance, or change something in your area, they say you can't do Airbnb, you can do Airbnb, you can't rent, you can rent. Those things make a difference in your particular market. Now, another thing is interest rates. What are interest rates going to do? Well, most people don't know. They've been saying for the last 2 3 years, every year, rates are going up, rates are going up. And we did see a healthy bump, and then we've seen it come down again. So it's been pretty healthy. But one of the things they say, you're probably better off looking at the 10-year interest rate to compare it with more of the long-term interest rate for mortgages, because most people don't live in their home more than 10 years. So usually those are pretty close. So that would be a sign. Now, when we talked about Florida, I'm specifically talking about Florida. And I would say right off the get-go, Florida's healthy. Now, some areas are more healthy than others. Now, what are the signs? How will we know if the market's, where it's going to be, since it takes time for history to tell us what the market is? The thing is, we have tight inventories. Now, that's how many homes available, and you have what's called absorption rate. And generally, for most of my career, 180 days was considered a balanced market. 181 days, an advantage to a buyer. 180 days or less, an advantage to the seller. Now, I've noticed in the last few years that cycle's a lot shorter, and that I see that people, so now it's not really 180 days. It may be 150 days, maybe 120 days, and each market's going to be different. Locally, we're running about 65 days on market from time you list it till closing. Statewide, it's about 125 days. Okay. Growth numbers wise, though, we're about 2.2 less inventory than we've had historically, or the last couple of years, and that's general residential, detached. And condos is about 4.5% less. So that's kind of important. Now, why is this happening? Well, Florida, people are staying in their homes a little longer, and so that's less inventory for that. And then we've had the growth in population, and the growth in just this year alone, we're predicted to go up 1.63% in the state of new people. If we go back to 2010, we've gone up about 11%, and that's even through some of the tougher times. So, and we're looking at the median price in Florida right now about $432, around about $250 a square foot. Generally, locally, we're probably more like 125 to 175, with most of them being about 160. It's going to vary from market to market. Obviously, waterfront areas and different things have different perspectives, but it's kind of important. The bottom line is Florida is healthy. 2020 is good. There's going to be tight rental markets. There's still opportunity for buying rental properties, and there's definitely always a good time with these rates as good as they are. If you like what we have to say, please share, like, and please give us a question. Reach out to us. We're trying to give information that we find valuable in our industry. This is Keith Furrow, the Trust Name in Real Estate. Keith Furrow Associates. Have a great day.